Joining me now is the Australian's Washington correspondent, Adam Creighton. Adam, thank you so much for staying up for us. Local time in Iowa, 3 a.m. So, well, you've either got up early for the next day or you've stayed up, but thank you. Now, what does this result tell us about how Republican voters are viewing Donald Trump despite all of the civil and criminal cases stacking up against him?
Yeah, well, it just shows you that they've paid no attention to the mainstream media. They've ignored all the endorsements from various congressmen and governors of the other candidates, and they've done their own thing. They clearly don't care about all the indictments, the 91 criminal charges that you mentioned. His support's just been extraordinarily resilient the whole time. It's grown throughout the 12 months, and this is a ringing endorsement. He's done better than the polls. He got 51%. I think most polls had him at about 48%. Neither of the main challengers would be very happy with this result. I mean, they're basically neck and neck at 20% each. They're clearly going to stay in the race, the others, but you've got to say the former president's position is pretty unassailable at this point. And I think if he wins New Hampshire next week, he's basically got it in the bag.
Adam, we saw that Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley spent a lot of money in Iowa. I mean, reportedly for DeSantis or for Haley, over $100 million. They were basically living there. This is a crushing outcome for both of them.
Yeah, look, it just goes to that earlier point that you can spend a lot of money, you can have a lot of debates and so forth, but at the end of the day, people made up their mind. I mean, you're quite right. I think 35 million roughly each was spent by Haley and DeSantis, and I think something like 80 by Donald Trump. And someone worked out cost per vote. It's $340 per vote for Trump and something like $1,800 per vote for the other two. So it's been a very expensive business for the two losing candidates, if you like. And you have to ask, will this continue? Will donors keep forking out millions and millions for a poor performance? And the answer is probably no. I mean, there's no question the other two want to race on because something could happen to Trump. He could be convicted, he could go in jail this year, or there could be a health event. And so I don't expect them to pull out, but certainly the donors may force them to pull out.
Yeah. Now, I was watching Fox News earlier today. Karl Rove made the point that it is better that Trump has competition in these caucuses and primaries rather than a free ride to the White House. But is that what we're expecting? That if he wins the Republican nomination, which it looks like it's likely, pending, being thrown in jail, but even then, do we think that it is quite certain that he would be able to defeat Biden at a wider election?
Well, look, it's not certain, and it's true. Most Democrats are quite happy with the outcome tonight. Certainly the Biden White House wants Trump to be the opponent. Most Democrat strategists also want that to be the case. Look, we just don't know. Certainly last time Biden won by a significant amount in millions of votes. The question is, can he do it again? I mean, I doubt it personally. I think Trump has a very good shot of winning this year because of the decline of Biden, which is just so obvious to everyone in this country, and also the state of the economy. People are furious about inflation. Sure, the rate's coming down, but it's still 4%. It's still double of what it should be, and prices certainly aren't falling, and people's incomes have not gone up by anywhere near as much. So there's a lot of anger in this country, and also there's a number of wars brewing overseas, which is of great concern. I mean, I was surprised tonight at the little caucus meeting that I went to just outside Des Moines, just how much foreign policy was talked about. I mean, you'd never get that in an Australian situation, but it really does worry people, even in these small communities.
People are becoming increasingly isolationist, and they don't want America, at least a section of the Republican movement, don't want America to be involved in foreign wars. I find that quite concerning because we need the United States to be the leader of the free world and not to, back away from playing a leadership role in places like the Middle East in supporting Israel just because of domestic politics. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy...
Yes, that's right.
We saw that he dropped out of the race. He threw his support behind Donald Trump. Do you think he could play a role in a future Trump presidency?
Yeah, well, firstly, I think that's a big help to Trump because he got 8%, I think, something like that, which is quite a lot, really, from a guy not even heard of over a year ago. And that 8% pretty much is just going to go into Donald Trump's column now. I mean, as for a future role in the administration, yes, I think that's what he's probably angling for. And Donald Trump quite likes him. I think he praised him tonight. He said he's a brilliant guy, and he is a brilliant guy. I mean, if you hear him speak, he's extraordinarily articulate. I mean, he's an absolute genius. I've never really seen anyone like it. So, he could have a role in Donald Trump's cabinet, or, some people say vice president. I seriously doubt that, but certainly some sort of ambassadorial role, yes, for sure.
Now, just on another topic, Adam, a senior advisor to the Albanese government, or to Immigration Minister Andrew Giles, was spotted at a Nikki Haley rally in Iowa, alongside also the Chief of Staff for Andrew Giles. They were posing with someone from Nikki Haley's office. The staffer was wearing a pin supporting Nikki Haley. You can see him on the screen there with Nikki Haley. Look, the photograph was deleted. We wouldn't think that would be a problem. I mean, we support freedom of expression, we support political freedom, but if you're in the Albanese government, supporting the Republican Party has gone down like a lead balloon. I mean, surely they can't fire these people just for supporting their political opponents in the United States.
Yeah, certainly. I think it would be crazy to fire them. It was a pretty silly thing to do, obviously. And I'm surprised senior staffers didn't realise that journalists would be looking at their Instagram accounts, their social media accounts. But, it's worth pointing out Nikki Haley's foreign policies are not much different from Joe Biden. So in that sense, she's more of a Democrat figure. So, I don't really think that they're supporting someone ideologically who's all that different from the Democrats or the Labor Party. So, maybe they should say that back in response. The Republican Party is a very broad church, a lot broader than our political parties.
Adam Creighton, thank you so much for staying up so late. We'll read your coverage
Thanks, Sharri.
in The Australian tomorrow.